What's up and welcome to our podcast, Toast to Tea.
We're two friends that love the world of celebrity and pop culture and talking about it with you.
To join our world of celebrity, make sure to rate, like, and subscribe to our podcast. Now hit it.
It's about that time.
Wait, where's the Chris Cam?
To say cheers to our world of celebrity.
1000%.
They're back together, and it feels just right.
Miss Mika, nice to meet ya.
Raise your glass.
I'm Maddison Hill.
And I'm Courtney Revolution.
Because it's our moment to
Toast to tea. Hello, community. How are you feeling? How are you doing? I'm frazzled. If you couldn't tell by my hair that looks frazzled, I'm frazzled.
Why are you frazzled, Miss Frizzle?
Oh my gosh. Courtney, you know those days when you just have like so much going on and you just constantly feel behind? Like I've been up since 7.
That was me last week.
Yeah, I've been up forever, but I just simply cannot get ahead.
Are you spinning plates, girl?
I am spinning plates.
I always equate like what we do to like spinning plates. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I have one on each hand, one on each foot, one trying to spin on my tush. Like, you know, we're continuing and we're doing the best we can.
We're a couple of circus folk.
Yes, we literally are. I do feel like though I've gotten a little bit better at telling people like, it's going to be a minute. Like I literally just got a text now for one of my freelance jobs. It's like, hey, can you rework this? I'm like, absolutely. But it will be after I record my podcast. Whereas before growth, Maddison would be like, oh my God, I need to do this right now. But now I'm like, girl, it's going to be a quick 45 before I get to that task. Okay.
Because sometimes you have to realize like by rushing, really, what is that going to change in the bigger scheme of things?
Right. It's just going to stress me out, you know?
Yes. Don't overwork your brain. Girl.
I was going to say also too, obviously you guys know our old job, when we got new bosses, that's when a lot of the stuff went awry. But the original bosses, I will say one thing I always remember that, I mean, this is like OG teacher. People remember Diana when she would come on Fridays. She would always tell us, we are not curing cancer. This is supposed to be something that you enjoy. And I think sometimes I go back to that where I'm like, Maddison, you are not doing brain surgery. Like, it's going to be
I'll
okay.
Say, to give Diana her 10s, even now at her age, because she's more mature than us, and, you know, a mother, what have you, she still has fun with all of this.
Like, 1,000,000%.
You can tell she still has a lot of fun with all of this.
Yes. Yeah. And I always go back to that. I'm like, honestly, Diana was right in that sense of whenever like we would get so worked up about something and that's how she would check us. And I'm like, literally tea though, like it's gonna be okay. Like
very much giving. Why are you stressed? I'm not.
Yeah. She would always be like, why aren't you guys having more fun? We're like, because the numbers and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, literally relax. Like, and that's honestly, I miss, that's the energy we missed. So you guys can get a sense of why Courtney and I did get whiplash when things changed, because it was like, we went from a boss telling us like, this is supposed to be fun to being like, read off of a grid. Yeah. Girl,
I always like come across like one of those materials from like those days, and I was like, wow, times were really different then.
Times were different. And I feel like we've glowed up since. I feel like our faces, like, I don't know, it's so funny. Sometimes I come across an old clip like during like the COVID era, because that's where I feel like it really was like stress on 10. And I look at clips and I'm like, Courtney and I literally actually look younger, I feel like now sometimes, and like, then, which is crazy because it's been 5 years.
Community, for those of y'all listening to us right now, if you are currently at a job that is like making you stressed or like you wake up I remember like waking up feeling anxious, literally to sit down at a laptop and talk about Khloe Kardashian. Just know that there are so many better things down the road. I've never experienced anything like that corporate like kind of energy that we were in. And I would wake up, like I've never experienced waking up with anxiety before, to literally sit at a laptop and talk about Khloe Kardashian. It was cool.
That's why when I would like be crying every day, and I was home during that time. I was home back in Kansas City because I went back, and I remember my parents were like, I feel like you should not be crying. Like you should not be crying every day when you're literally talking about Mason Disick going on TikTok Live, being like, Kylie and Travis aren't dating. My parents like, this is supposed to be fun. Like, obviously work is work, but like in the, it just, And I guess maybe that's the best way to describe the whiplash. Like, imagine going from kind of like a small business mindset of like you have a personal connection to the people who are running the company. It was very small.
Yeah.
To all of a sudden now you have a corporate structure and these people actually don't give a shit. Oh, excuse me. I was about to curse. These people don't really
It's the
care about
truth.
you, you know? And so I think,
So to like, can I put it
yeah.
into perspective for them? So like, community at me and Madison's old job, we were basically doing this podcast essentially, but chopped up into little videos. It used to be in a way where like I would show up to work, y'all. Me and Madison would go over a few notes, sit down, do our live show for 1 hour, and then I would kind of essentially go home. Like,
No,
and that was the work day.
and I would make
But
Courtney
then,
go home because I was like, until you get more coins,
and I was
respectfully,
not being paid
go
a
home.
lot. But when we were purchased by a bigger company, it went from like doing what we were doing to then like a meeting here, a research meeting here, like a powwow here. And it was like all of a sudden our job that was like a 2-hour job turned into like a full-time job. And it was just very strange.
Yeah, I also think too, it was just, and it's so funny, Courtney, I've been reflecting a lot because in my membership, they were asking questions about like Hollyscoop and Clever and if we all like really competed with one another. And I was like, literally the amount of meetings I sat in where we talked about Clever, like we would be millionaires, honestly. Like the limit does not exist.
Which is interesting because I feel like Maddison, and this is no shade to Clever at all because they did their thing, but I felt like we were very different. Like maybe the point was the same, but like how we went about it, I think was very different. I felt like Clever was very professional, very CBS, very like, girl, you may have a stylist in the back. Yeah. And we were like, Courtney has $20 in his bank account and he spent $15 on this graphic t-shirt to wear to the morning tea, bitch. And here we are. We had a chip in the table.
I was explaining to people, I was like, literally, like, I was doing a lot more than I think people realized. Like, I was essentially competing with Clever as one person. Like, that's what I don't think people understood.
A lot of our audience, a lot of the audience that enjoyed the morning tea, I don't think may have paid attention to what Hollyscoop looked like before. So when there were a lot of us, and then it was like you and I and Devin. Which shout out to Devin. Devin DM'd me yesterday. Shout out to Devin Howard.
Honestly, shout out to Devin. She's expecting her first child. We love that for her. Like, this is all she's ever wanted. I'm so excited for her. I live for it. I live for her and her wife, mom era. Like, genuinely. And that's what I was saying. I was like, we all really were a family. And that's why it worked. It was just like, once we got the script flipped, it was like us kind of transitioning. But I think I'm like, the fact that I was literally writing like 5 to 8 scripts a day, coming up with all those stories. Like, it was just a weird time.
And that is why when you left and I didn't become Maddison Hill, people were confused. Because essentially, what was fun was Maddison tells the story and we react to the news. But Maddison is finding the stories. Maddison knew me well enough to be like, oh, well, Courtney's going to react this way to this. So, girl, we have to have it in there. So then when it switched and we were having a different host that in the beginning wasn't doing those things, it was very confusing to the audience as to then why wasn't it Courtney telling the stories and someone else reacting to the news. And it was because I wasn't the lead and you were on paper the producer.
Well, and
which is
I
what
think
people didn't know.
The biggest thing too that the old bosses understood but the new ones didn't. The old bosses understood like Courtney and Maddison have a friendship that radiates on camera. The new bosses thought there was no friendship and it was just these two people talk for an hour a day. And Courtney and I were like, LOL, actually no, the opposite of that. And I think that was also the big shit, like the confusion of it all. Like we were like, it was a crazy time.
They thought they were buying a specific product, but they didn't realize that they were buying Courtney and Maddison.
Right.
And once they realized that they bought Courtney and Maddison, then they were like,
they're like, wait a second. Actually, I think they were happy with Courtney. I just don't think they were happy with purchasing Madison. Like, let's call it what it is. Like, I think they were like, live, laugh, loving Courtney.
Which makes no sense to me.
With her blonde bob. I don't think so, actually.
There, and if y'all listening community, if y'all only knew how I would say to Maddison, girl, like in terms of like the House of Hill, girl, you are Hollyscoop, so why couldn't you do this on your own? Like that's how we got here. Was like it just didn't make sense. Like, girl, we're coming to work. You can do this in your living room.
It was
like,
and I think it like I would love to go back and like watch our last episode of the morning tea where we're both just crying because Jesus I'm Christ, like anyone who's I just it's so crazy to think about. Maybe it's like the 5-year mark, and like I said, people were asking me about it, but I was like, this feels. Like,
I remember that. I remember that day like it was yesterday.
Yeah, I see.
Overwhelmed with emotion. I couldn't even like.
You guys know we are our own little family within everything else, so that meant so much to me. Thank you so much. I did not want to get emotional, but that meant so much, and that was like the best tribute ever. I mean, it really shows like we have taken an idea that was thrown around and made it our own. And so, wow, thank you guys. That was amazing. Thank you again, Danny, because you guys, this just shows like, oh, thank you guys so much. Wow.
It's a common misconception, right? That Maddison holds me back, right? That is so much Maddison. Why is there enough Courtney? And there's the misconception that Maddison holds me back. But I really want to let it be known to all of y'all that Maddison is not a person that holds people back. Maddison is a person that always tries to uplift and push people forward. She's the kind of person that will say, do you want to lead the interview? Do you want to take this story? Do you want to do this? And I'll say, no, Maddison, I'm scared. I can't. She'll be like, no, you got this. You could do this. So I want to let it be known to all of y'all, bosses, T-Tribe, my mother who's probably watching me cry in front of everybody. Maddison is the greatest thing that has happened to the little bit of career that I've got. And I will always, always, always be grateful, not only to you, but your family. They're so welcoming and warm. They make sure I have champagne and champagne. It's a family, y'all. So when y'all say it's not Courtney and it's Courtney and Maddison, this, it has never and it will never be that. So just get real sensitive when y'all make comments about our chemistry and our relationship, because it's titanium strong. And nothing and no one can come between that. And it's fine if I get in trouble, but that's the truth. I have to honor that between us, Maddison Hill.
Thank you. Thank you. I love you.
Thank you.
I really
love you.
I didn't want to cry. I really didn't want to, but that does mean a lot to me, Courtney, because you know that's been my struggle. Is that
I know.
It's been weighing on my heart. You know, we are not done. You guys are going to see us together. The morning tea, really, like everyone who works on the show is a family, and it is it's hard when your family has to, take a break for a second, but we really are one big family. And Courtney, I am always in your corner. I am always in your corner, no matter.
I'm always in your corner, Maddison. Period.
Always.
Period.
You guys, there were just so many funny things that happened during that COVID era, and I always am like, people don't care about this, but then people in my membership were like, no, Maddison, we love, this is like the tea that we love. And I'm like, okay, so community, I hope you enjoyed this. I feel like
Cynthia and Crystal on their podcast going the housewives.
I'm like, I hope you enjoyed this little walk down memory lane, because and I feel like a lot of you have been with us since the beginning. So I'm sure this is interesting for you to hear, and like our journeys from that to now. It's just like,
may I please give a shout out, Maddison?
Yes, of course.
We have to give one shout out. I must. Before we transition on, I must give a shout out to one Miss Alex Schiffman, because
honestly,
when I tell you that young lady,
she inherited,
was a professional, and she took those lashings 5 days a week. Y'all call her and I had to roll with it, Maddison. They were calling her Pocahontas one week. Then she was like, she likes Tiger Woods, and then she had mentioned she had like a screw in her elbow, so then they were calling her the Bionic Woman. Like they were just like because they wanted to connect with her So they were like coming up with like little nicknames, and I'm like, y'all, I don't think Alex is liking this.
Like, Devin had no choice. We were like, "You're the vegan queen," and Devin was just like, "Okay, like, cool." Like she had literally no choice. But that was just Devin's personality. But that is, shout out to her because she did. It was
to come into that,
tough.
not even really understanding what was going on, and then being like, why does the audience responding negatively to me? Me and her really had to have like, okay, so girl, this is kind of like what went down. This is like kind of like what you just walked into, and I'm so sorry, and I can't believe they're paying you this. Yeah. But if you could just like pretend to just like Kiki girl, we're like Steve, and this is like Blue's Clues, and we're just like, we're just playing with the audience, and girl, I'm just gonna clown around, and you just like do your thing.
I do remember you telling me too one time, you're like, oh, bad day. She said she loved Camila Cabello, and I was like,
oh yeah,
like no,
oh my God, I'll never forget.
I was like, that pains me because it's like, girl, no.
The audience was like, Courtney's gonna get her. And I was like,
Courtney's
you're able to like who you like, Alex. They were like, what? You're not gonna call her a scammer? I was like, guys, I don't know what you want me to do.
Like, literally, I actually can't. Like, we don't have that setup anymore. Like, I have to just smile. Like, and I'm
like, suddenly we're open to her.
You know what? We're gonna forget about her racist Tumblr posts, but sure, you know what, Senorita.
Girl, Senorita.
And oh man, what a time! What a time to be alive. We survived.
What a time to be alive.
We thrived. We made it.
It brought us here today. Honestly, where I feel like is so much. The morning tea was a fun time, but I do like having our podcast because, and I've even seen people comment this, like, we seem more open and relaxed than, which is true because we don't have people telling us like, okay, don't talk about this person, or if you talk about this person, you have to have this certain tone. Like, there would be some times where Courtney and I would toe the line. And we would be upper lip just like hope the bosses,
like,
hope the bosses don't watch because we mentioned Kim Kardashian a little bit too heavy. They said. Why did you mention Kim Kardashian?
Speaking of that, there was one specific morning tea where I remember we went in because Kim did something that we were like, we simply cannot take a neutral stance. Like we simply, and for full disclosure, we were able to talk about the Kardashians, but when it came to certain Kardashians, because of certain relationships that were at play, we weren't told to take like a negative take, like more neutral to positive. Mm-hmm. Not that Courtney and I were seeing any of the benefits of that relationship or any money in our accounts from that. I just wanted that to be clear.
We met Lamar Odom one time
because people would be like,
him.
Chris is paying your bills. I'm like,
oh my God.
If I had an actual dollar for every time I saw that comment, we
Madison,
would be rich.
I forgot about that.
Like,
Chris is paying our bills. We used to get that all the time.
Like, I literally wish. Like, no, we can't. But
I'd say everything nice if Chris paid our bills.
Literally, we would be like, you know what? We love everything.
Chloe, take him back, girl.
But there was
Mary Tristan Tamar.
Literally, there was one episode, I think maybe it was Chloe. You and I went in like hard on Chloe. And I remember Diana specifically playing that episode. Like, I could hear her watching it like in the office while I was like finishing stuff in the afternoon. And I was like, I gotta get out of here before Kardashian tea time. Like, I've literally gotta get out of here. But she never said anything. So I was like, thank God. Like, God was on our side.
She said merch is selling.
We're fine.
Looking good.
I just remember hearing from her office, and I was like, oh, this is the episode she's going to watch today, where Courtney and I literally are like, Chloe's a dumb girl.
I'm like, she's a clown. Put your clown face on, girl.
Oh, my God. TBT. What a time.
Wow, we were just kind of doing anything up there.
Yeah, literally. And we were drinking tequila at 8 a.m. Like, that's also one of my favorite memories.
But you know what, Maddison? Can I say something? Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, community, if you had never watched, some of y'all had never watched The Morning Tea. I think if The Morning Tea existed today, we would be up for a Webby. Yeah. Or I think we would have won one already. Mm-hmm. Simply because at the time that The Morning Tea started, there were very, very, very few channels with live content that had built up an audience. Yeah. We just kind of did it by the seat of our pants. And, the bosses were like, it's free, go do it. And it wound up being a success. But I really think if it had been consistently the same, with proper evolution, I think we would have won a Webby and
1,000,000%. I think really,
if... Like,
we never... Yeah. Like, if we had never, like, the switch never happened, I feel like it would have been a completely different trajectory. But the switch happened, and then the switch in COVID.
It needed to, though, right? Because Maddison, when you met me, and I probably looked at the floor instead of your face, could you have imagined that you would be a business owner with multiple streams of income, with 50,000 people that care about your opinion?
Courtney has really been hyping me up. He wants me to really celebrate my almost 50K subscribers.
I think it's a fantastic, I don't want to say a storyline because we're not on TV, but I just think it's a fantastic story and a lesson to people listening that like, your life can change so significantly. Like, granted, things are still rough for us. Like, we're still those rough girls still.
I was gonna say, like, I still am like, rent's due. Shit. Like, I literally am panicking.
You are like really, truly, in essence, a go-getter, because like you could have been like that damn Courtney talking about those YouTubers crying on camera and paid my ass no mind, but you took a chance on yourself. And you showed improve 50,000 people, y'all, to y'all listening. That's a lot of people, Maddison.
Well, Courtney,
the girlies quit before they even hit 500. So
in that same breath, can we talk about you? You literally came in and were like, I'm going to be on reality TV. I've never done anything like this
I'm a
before,
crazy person,
but I'm going to do it. And I was like, 1,000,000%. I am obsessed with you. I feel like actually, like I've said, like our true bonding moment was when we had this crazy producer and she's like, one of you is going to get up there and say you hate Taylor Swift, and Courtney and I both were like, literally, no, we're not doing that. And I was like, I love him. Please, this is my kind of person. Then you were like, I'm a Taurus. I was like, oh, this is going to be incredible and iconic. But you have manifested everything you have said. There is not one thing you have told me that you were going to do that you have not done or you're on your way to already doing right now. More info to come in the future. And that is freaking powerful. There's a lot of people, especially in this town, who are a lot of talk and very little walk. But let me tell you, Courtney Revolution talks the talk and walks the walk and uplifts others along the way.
Thank you, Maddison.
That is,
I try to.
I'm you 1,000,000%. And sometimes I actually get on him. I'm like, stop giving away so much help for free. Make people pay you for that.
Also random, I just want to throw this out here since this is just a random hodgepodge of an episode, clearly.
I know, sorry you guys. We love going off.
I got so many DMs from people in my life that were confused that I was an ordained minister. If y'all don't realize that I just be doing things for the plot of it all, like I hit my year anniversary of being an ordained minister, so I had put the screenshot on my Instagram story and everyone was like, you're an ordained minister? Since when are you an ordained minister? Girl, y'all better start asking people what they do.
Yeah.
Because the answer for me is going to be it all. Now book me for your wedding experience.
A multi-hyphenate, okay? A multi-hyphenate. Literally.
Talk trash during the day. Marry people during the day.
When I get married, you can marry me.
Yes.
Wait, that's actually so exciting. Make sure you renew. Make sure you renew.
Oh, girl, you know I'm definitely going to renew.
Even
just
though,
because it's like,
I'm manifesting, I'm going to meet my person soon. I think I kind of feel it. I don't know why.
I think so.
I feel like
that
I'm
would be
finally,
so fun, Maddison.
I feel like I'm fine. That sounds so silly to be like, I'm finally ready because I'm like old. But genuinely.
You're not old, Maddison.
I'm turning 32. But.
Is it only age that makes you feel ready for a relationship?
No. I feel like it's my, mentally where I'm at. For some reason, I feel like this is really the first time in my life that I'm like, I'm ready for a partner. I think before I was very much into just what Maddison Hill was doing, like building everything, which I still need a lot of building, but I was just so focused on that and my friends and my family that I really didn't feel like I had the space to bring in anyone else. But now I'm like, you know what? I think I'm ready for the man of my dreams. So come find me. Come find me.
I was going to say, where do we find him? Madison said, literally, it was like you read my mind. You were like, come find me.
Yeah,
I'm like, where are we going to find him, Madison? I was like, girl.
Well, because I don't do the app. So come find me. Even though Danny did give me some inspiration during our drinks. So shout out to Danny.
Yeah.
Who also came along with us from our old jobs and experienced the evolution. So literally, y'all, shout out to Danny.
I want to say, even though there were cons at the end to that job, I really enjoy that we've all kind of gone off on our own individual paths and have chased our passions in whatever form that is. You know what I mean?
1,000,000%. And we're all so close. Like we literally can get
Yeah.
together and it's like a day didn't pass. So
I really enjoy that.
it's iconic.
Ugh.
Wow, this walk down memory lane has been amazing. Okay, sorry guys. We will get into some tea. I feel like we should get into a little bit at least because I love this first topic. Ugh. Morgan Wallen.
I don't like this man.
Neither do I. Oh my God. I
Like this man.
literally
He ruined
cannot.
my summer.
Mm-mm.
He literally ruined my summer.
Oh, because of
because
his posty.
he
clap.
took over Hangout Fest.
Oh.
So like they like signed a contract with him. So instead of Hangout Fest, it's Sand in My Boots Fest, and he's the face of it.
Oh.
And so it's him and all of his friends, including Post Malone.
I know. Him and Posty are. That is my one.
I'm literally gonna see him in like 4 weeks.
My one qualm. For those of you who didn't or haven't seen, but this has been a huge controversy. So Morgan Wallen was on Saturday Night Live. He performed as the musical guest. He didn't do any sketches, even though they did want him to be in like one of the pre-taped sketches. He didn't want to. They had Joe Jonas do it instead. But at the end, it's normally customary, as anyone who has seen any episode of SNL, like the musical guest and the celebrity guest host, literally like, good night, New York. And then they like shake hands and kind of like celebrate the episode.
Hey man, great job, huh?
With
Like,
the cast.
yeah.
Like literally has been happening for 50 years because there has been 50 years of SNL. Well, Morgan Wallen decided he wasn't going to talk to the cast. And as soon as he like said goodbye, hugged Mikey Maddison, left. And everyone was like, Morgan Wallen storms off SNL. It was this whole thing. And then from the plane, he posts a picture and says, "Get me to God's country." Okay, first of all, and now he's making merch about it, which is
Yeah, he was like selling t-shirts.
tells me, was this your plan all along? My thing is, if you are not down with like the people on SNL and because that was like a big thing. People are like, oh, he probably doesn't vibe with the cast members. That's fine. If you want to like try to take a stance to be like, I don't agree with what these people stand for, then don't do the show in the first place. You know what I mean? Because it's like, oh, you wanted the publicity. You wanted the attention. And then you're going to try to be like, I literally can't stand you. I think he is such a douche.
I just found it to be very disrespectful and granted, this is not,
Oh, he's disrespectful. Like disrespectful is his personality trait.
I feel like it's like disrespectful to like the art of theater in a way. It was like, you turn around and you shake hands and Maddison, 25 extra seconds on the stage. You couldn't fake it for 25 seconds. You already were kind of like a jerk not doing the sketch. You're kind of already spitting on the tradition of that. You can't play along. I don't know. I just am not a fan of the personality of this man based off of what I've read. And, I did read a couple articles. He throwing chairs, saying N-words and everything else.
No, Courtney, I literally, and it's so funny because.
But why is he so popular?
People love him. People love him. People love his music. And
the festival sold out.
Here's the thing. He does make good country music. I think people like him because he gives kind of like 2010s country. And that's when we had like Luke Bryan was starting out. And it was a fun time in country music. I'm saying that because that's when I was really listening to country too. Like I was in college. We had the tailgates. Like literally Luke Bryan singing about like rain coming down on the crops. It's just like easy,
but we like
crazy,
Luke Bryan,
free.
Right?
We like Luke Bryan.
Yeah,
also,
I
he's
thought
great
so.
in concert. Like, I'm not trying to compare the two. I'm just trying to say, like, I think people like Morgan Wallen because he kind of goes back to that, like, that time in country music when it was more fun and lighthearted. But to me, it's like, but you're kind of a trash person. And I understand you can separate the person from the music. But I just, you guys know I really struggle with people who like take advantage of their celebrity and their status. And I feel like that's what this man does. Like, why are you throwing chairs? Why are you getting so hammered that you have to cancel shows? Why are you storming off of SNL and doing this performative BS when you literally have done this show more than once? So it's like, don't act like you're taking a stand. Like, if you are actually taking a stand, you wouldn't have done the show in the first place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But
like
he just wanted to use the platform but not participate, and I think that's corny.
I'm just like, and you think you're doing something by being like, oh, now I'm gonna sell merch. I'm like, ew. And,
all publicity is good publicity.
and I know people will buy it, and I know people think it's funny, and I know people are like probably going to listen to this and be like, you're reading too deep into it. I'm sorry. I just literally cannot stand this guy. Like, he gives me the energy that if I saw him at a bar, he would come up and say something to me, and I'd be like, you're a dick. Like, get away from me. You know what I mean? Like, I just know I would not be. If he approached me in the wild, I'd be like, ew. And if he was not famous.
Down with Morgan.
I'm just saying, if he was not famous, people would not think he's as attractive. And y'all know
Period.
Literally. There's other better country
cute.
singers out there. Just saying. What's my guy?
And they'll be at Stagecoach.
Oh my God, Culpepper. I'll post him, but he's on TikTok and he's awesome and he's trying to get his voice out there. And I feel like he is like old school country, but way better of a person.
Maddison, what you wearing to Coachella next week?
Oh my God, I'm not going to Coachella. Thank God.
What do you mean? No. I thought you and the girls was trekking the desert.
No, first of all, I will be at 2 bachelorette parties back to back, which is why I need to drink water.
Oh my
Second
God.
of all, I cannot go to Coachella unless I'm getting like VIP. I'm too old.
I feel that. And same.
Like, it's just not.
I'm not meant to live an uncomfortable life.
I'm meant to live an uncomfortable life, literally. I porta potties and Maddison Hill. Not synonymous.
Yeah, I need Wi-Fi. I need to be able to get a Giada sandwich and sit in the shade. I know exactly what you mean.
A little air-conditioned, nice porta potty. I need access to a beverage without trucking 5 miles across a field.
If I were like 21, 22.
Absolutely.
Girl, yes, let's sweat it out. Girl, we made it. We saved up 50 fucking paychecks to go to Coachella.
Literally.
But now, girl, I'm about to be 33. Give me a good shade, a very short.
Yeah.
Give me my $50 drink, and I'm gonna leave y'all alone with the Wi-Fi.
Yeah. And I'm wearing comfortable shoes. Like, I'm not messing around.
Get me in a good, cute, discreet Sketcher.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Like, I need the arch support. So not
so much walking,
not
y'all.
quite happening for me. But are you going?
Okay, me. Hell no.
Okay, that's why I was like, I feel like I would have done this.
If I were given like an influencer opportunity, I would.
Totally
but just to give y'all a pivot into the creator space right now, of course there are brands giving out like their Coachella stuff, but it's very slim in comparison to like previous years. Because I mean, the year I went, I was just like minding my business, and they were like, "Hey, do you want to go?" And I was like, "Oh, okay." And it was like a picture. I just took a picture, and that was it. But I've noticed like even creators that are way bigger than I am are on like Threads, because Threads is a really good way to get in touch with brands, being like, hey, who wants to send me to Coachella? And I'm like, you don't have a Coachella hookup?
Yeah.
Girl, the pickings are slim.
The pickings are slim. Let me I've been seeing that and hearing that, and hearing that people are doing some interesting ways to try to get to Coachella for free.
Oh, girl, this is what they doing, y'all. This is what I've seen. It might be different from what you've heard, Maddison, but they going on LinkedIn, they going and finding the brand and then finding their influencer relation person and then going on Instagram and like following them and spamming them with and I'm like, y'all.
Yeah. People are doing that. And then also,
first of all, if you was going to do that, you should have did that in December. and throughout the weeks.
I think
throughout the weeks, not all at once.
People are just using like not very ethical ways to try to get, I don't know. I've been seeing some crazy stuff and I'm just like, whoa, interesting. I don't know. I guess I just like don't want to go for free that bad. I'm like, I'd rather go to like the Sephora beauty influencer trip in Aspen. That looks more fun to me than Coachella.
And to keep it even more simpler than that, if I'm dropping 6, 7, 8 on Coachella, I'd rather go see Lady Gaga.
Like 1 million. There's just more things.
Artist of my choice or something,
I'd
you know?
rather go do again and not be with thousands of people sweating. Which something this actually has nothing to do with sweating. I'm not sweating this, but maybe some people, I don't know if people like crush on Ice Spice. Maybe some people do. But
the men's love her.
The men's love her. Okay, well, she might be off the market.
Ooh.
I'm just saying. She might have a new man. She posted about the New York Jets cornerback, Sauce Gardner. They have been together at like various events, allegedly. They were in a viral video around February. I kind of think like Sauce and Ice Spice that they do go together. I kind of like the vibe.
Sauce and Spice.
Sauce and Spice. I love that.
He's not a bad looking man.
What do you think? Like, do you think it's real? Do you think maybe Taylor Swift had any influence?
Hey,
girl,
honestly, you never know.
They are friends.
You never know.
Ice Spice went to the Super Bowl.
I never made that connection.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, Maddison, that I'd be inclined to go with that. And
yeah.
Girl, don't make me get back on YouTube because that'd be right up in that title. Taylor Swift recommends Ice Spice's new boyfriend. But I like this because it's not related to music at all. And I think that Ice Spice needs to take this time to pivot into something else. And I think a relationship is something like stable for us to keep our eyes on, not that we're stalking her, but in terms of news and PR. And then when she decides that she wants to give up twerking on stage and become a streamer and make millions that way, she's good. You know that Kai Cenat guy, Maddison, that all the kids like? All the kids, literally my brother's age group. My brother's 19.
I was going to say, literally Courtney's brother like helps me know what young kids are doing. I literally would not know.
I didn't know that Will Smith was previewing his new album on stream with Plaque Boy Max until my brother texted me.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Come on, in the know.
Yeah.
Kai Cenat makes $4 million a month. Love that.
Does he stream 24/7?
Not 24/7, but I mean, to my understanding, it's almost like TV. Like y'all, he says, "Here's my schedule," and y'all click on Twitch, and he's in the house, he's running around. Him and his friends are around. They playing video games. They talking to the chat girl. Essentially, what we would be doing if we were like consistent and creating little situations and stuff. I feel like little things are probably staged here and there for the drama, but $4 million. He just bought all his friends a house for them all to live in and make content, which I think is dope. I would do that for you.
Oh, I would 1,000,000%.
Like $4 million a month, girl. That's nothing. Where the Hill family want to live
literally,
at?
I'm like,
because girl,
that's one.
We buying an island.
First of all, we'd be buying a compound, and we're each building a mansion on the compound, and you can't come in unless we say you
$4 million
can.
a month.
I'm like, but I see this is where I go. I'm like, am I interesting enough to stream all throughout the day? Like, I really think people would be like, oh, Maddison's just working on her computer again.
I think
I'd be like, Courtney, come in here and smack me and act like you're mad. And then let's just be like, ha.
I'd be like, hell no. But I think you'd be surprised at how many people would enjoy. Just think about your happy hour lot. You do an hour Monday and Wednesday. For example, Ricky goes live, our friend Ricky Dillon, he goes live Monday through Friday, and he might be on there like 4 hours a night, and he's just playing video games. Sometimes he plays with the viewers, and sometimes he plays alone. And people just like the company of feeling like they're hanging out with their homegirl. You could be on the treadmill and just have the camera on and be like, y'all, you see what happened on whatever the show is? That's crazy. And they just kikiing with you. And you have your iPad,
I guess,
on the couch or whatever.
People do like that. So
I have a friend that's going live one time a day, every day for a year on TikTok.
Okay. That's kind of fun.
For just an hour or two.
That's kind of fun. I need to start doing lives every day because I do. I mean, you and I have talked about this. Don't burn yourself out. I know. Madison. We do love live. But I think the reason Courtney and I love lives is because we genuinely love connecting with people like in real time. Whereas I feel like some people are like, I just want to go live so I can make money. And it's like, that's obviously a huge proponent. But for me, I like genuinely love connecting with people. And I feel like you're the same. So I feel like I would struggle like just being like, okay, I'm just literally going to sit here and do my stuff and like just engage every once in a while because I feel this need to be like, oh my God, oh, they said this and you said this and blah, blah, blah. Like
you don't have to even. Some people just want to just rock with you and watch. Girl, wash the dishes, girl.
I know.
Load up the dishwasher, girl.
I mean,
some people fold their laundry on live, Maddison, and come out $300.
Kai Cenat might motivate me. $4 million a month, that would solve literally all my problems. $4 million 1 month would solve all my problems.
Girl, one time, 1 month.
One time, 1 month. But I'm not even trying to be greedy and ask for 12. Like, literally, just give me one, and my problems would be literally solved.
that's. I mean, but he's working. He's travels around the world and
shout out
the life. Us too one day.
Yeah, that's right. I can't wait. Next door, we've always said we want mansions close so we can call each other and we're just in our mansion.
Era 1 was Hollyscoop. Era 2 is this podcast. Era 3 is the tour.
Yep.
And we will see you there, community.
And we will see you
in
there.
The mansion.
That's right. Okay. Speaking of someone who actually probably went from making $4 million a month to I don't know what he's doing now. Did you see Kanye's just everything this week? Like that interview he did with
with DJ
DJ.
Academics. I could not believe that he wore that, but also I wasn't surprised. That caught me off guard because I haven't blocked on Twitter. So all of a sudden he just like popped up on my, and I was like, what is going on here?
That was literally
Then Bianca left him because he had the panic attack, right?
Yes. Yep. He did the leaked song called Bianca, where he's trying to get her back. He's said that she had a panic attack after his social media rants, tried to commit him. Her family tried to commit him. He said that he's always tracking her location and that maybe they're the new Cassie and Diddy. That made me clutch my pearls. I'm not going to lie.
I don't like that because that sounds to me like you are
Thank
allegedly
you.
putting your hands on that woman. I don't like that.
Thank you. And I think he was saying that as in like he's tracking her. And I'm like, I'm all for a location share, like literally share my location with my family and my friends. And I need to see their locations because if you don't answer your phone, I panic. But Courtney, you know this. I actually was talking about this in my live. I'm like, and Courtney knows, just if there's any crossover, Courtney knows that if he texts me at like a weird time, he always says, "Hi, Maddison, I am okay."
Don't panic.
And then he goes in because he knows I panic. Real friends. Yeah, but I'm just like, I don't know. Kanye is giving problematic in literally every aspect of his life.
It's as I've heard on Will and Grace, it's impossible to understand nonsense. But I have wondered what exactly the end game is here with Kanye. Like, why is he doing all of this? Because I mean, the music is not really going to sell anymore. And, you know, you've lost the clothing and the sneakers and all that. So, like, what are you trying to do here?
That is
and like, when does a conservatorship come into play? Because Wendy ain't do half of this, and they lock my good sis up. She's still fighting to get out. So, like, why Kanye not in a Britney Spears? That's what I want to know. Someone that actually needs to be in a Britney Spears. You know?
That's a genuine great question. I love you saying, like, what is all of this for? Because normally Kanye has, like, a PR plan up his sleeve. But this really does not feel like PR plan. This just feels like, I don't even know. I guess a spiral, but it feels beyond a spiral to me because this feels on purpose. Like, you being that outwardly awful and divisive and controversial, that's on purpose. Like, you wearing a hood of that nature during an interview is on purpose. That is not because you're mentally ill. That is not your bipolar
intentionally
showing.
Inflammatory.
No, you literally are doing that on purpose. You're using slurs during that interview on purpose. You're saying you never wanted children with your wife after 2 months, but God's plan was different on purpose. You're not thinking of your kids. You're not thinking of anyone. I could not believe
he said that.
Courtney, the way I was like, so North is going to be on the internet and see a headline about how he wanted Kim to terminate her pregnancy. That's one that's already awful. Then she's also going to see another headline that, like, Kanye never wanted kids with her mom and they have 4 kids together. Like, what are you doing?
And it's like, North is definitely old enough at this point.
1,000,000%.
To just be on the internet. Like, it's not like Kim you ain't got no phone ever. You ain't got no iPad ever. You ain't got no computer ever. All you gotta do is open up Google and Google anything, and something related to Kanye is gonna pop up.
Yep.
So it's like, how, as a mother, from Kim's perspective, how do you even begin to explain, like, what's going on? Like, what kind of, I wonder what kind of sit down Kim had with her children, or at least North, in terms of, like, this is what's going on with your father. When you see and read these things, understand X, Y, Z. I just wonder what those like, if you were a parent community, like, what kind of sit down would you even begin to have with your child about that?
I literally don't even know, because I know she's seeing it, and also she idolizes her dad. Like, you can just tell. And so that has to be so, and I know we love to, you know, criticize Kim because people love to criticize the Kardashians, but I do think I have to give her some credit there, because what a difficult situation to navigate. I genuinely don't know what you do. If I'm her, I'm taking legal action to be like, so sorry, but you can't have any say in what I'm doing anymore with the kids. Like, you can scream from the mountaintops that I took them, but, like, I got to do what I got to do. My biggest thing too, Courtney, is, you know, I truly believe that kids are not born to hate. Kids are taught to hate. And I think that's also what really gives me a bad feeling in my stomach about Kanye too, is like, these kind of people and these ideals that you want to bring around your children, like, what are you doing? You're contributing to the problem. You're not solving it. And I don't know. I think that's part of the issue for me as well. And I can't with him. Like, anything about him, I'm over. I can't.
Same. Yeah. Well, I blocked him, and as I've said previously, it's really disappointing. All of this, when it comes to like hip hop heroes, especially because, I grew up enjoying hip hop and hip hop music and hip hop media. And so like when you hear, the Diddy stories or like stories like this, it's just like, well, damn, I really enjoyed your music, or damn, I really like making the band. Danity Kane. And I can't listen to any of the stuff I used to like without like thinking, oh, a monster created this.
Yep.
Like, oh, Gold Digger. Oh, Kanye actually sucks. Like, for real.
Which is
like,
so unfortunate because Gold Digger is one of my favorite 2000 songs.
Smash hit. And it's like, I wish that, I don't know. It's almost like it's like two different entities.
Oh, I think that's not even Kanye to me anymore. Like, he's so far gone. Like, I don't even feel like the same person created those hits. Like, I think I think we literally, what is it? Like, what do they call it in Marvel? A multiverse? Like, we have like jumped, like he's
just a variant.
Like, he literally, I don't know what multiverse we switched Kanye's with, but can we give him back? Like,
give him back?
And get the old one back? Like, it's too much.
And then, like, also, I'm afraid that something tragic and final is going to happen to Kanye. Like, the second we look away, or the second there's like a really big world event, like something bad's gonna happen to Kanye. Like, the president's gonna say something, or something's gonna do something big will happen, and then all of a sudden, like, underneath that, Kanye West, and then like it'll get like overshadowed by like whatever is going on. I don't want that either.
Yeah.
Because there is a mental thing there, along with him being a jerk naturally. I don't know.
No, it's wild. It's crazy. Obviously, we'll keep an eye on it to tell you guys, but just know, like, internally, I am personally over this man. But we will, of course, keep you updated on any updates, because there will be, I guarantee next week we'll have some update on Kanye said XYZ, doubling down on his comments. Courtney, before we do wrap, can we just talk about Hailey really super?
What is going on with Hailey
Okay, did
Bieber
you see? So Justin, you've been seeing Justin, the Instagram lives.
Yeah, I want to know why he put up the golem with the ring.
People are saying that he was coming for Selena Gomez.
Why he do that? I feel like once Impressive make a video, first of all, y'all, if y'all have never seen a YouTube channel Impressive, just take a look at it. You'll see she really only talks about the black celebrities unless something serious and substantial happens with the white celebrities. So when she made a video about Justin is still in love with Selena, I was like, hold on, not Impressive digging into our nachos. I clicked that video so fast. What is wrong with him?
So here's the thing.
He know we don't get up here and talk about him.
I actually don't think he's still in love with Selena. And that's what I was.
What do you think it is?
I genuinely think what he's pressed about is that Selena ended up with Benny. Because him and Benny used to be genuine friends. Benny was his collaborator, his boy. I think what he is pressed about is the Benny of it all. And I think that's what a lot of people are missing, because a lot of people are just regurgitating the Jelena narrative. And I'm like, I genuinely, and people disagree with me. People are like, Maddison, you're just saying that. I'm like, no, genuinely, like, I don't think Justin wants Selena back. Like, I think he knows that would not work. And Selena definitely does not want that man back. Like, that's confirmed. Yeah. I genuinely think what presses him, and that he didn't maybe fully process, but like now it's hitting him because they have the album. They've been doing all this, press. They've been doing all these joint interviews. Yeah. Is like, oh my God, my like first love ended up with somebody who I used to consider one of my closest friends. I think that's where it's the hard pill for him to swallow. I don't think it's necessarily like I'm pining for, I still love Selena Gomez. That's just me.
But what was Benny supposed to do? Pass up on Selena Gomez?
Well, I also think I'm like, you can't help who your person is, Yeah. And
you ran off with a fan. Bye.
Yeah, Justin's married. He has a whole baby, You
have a baby.
Yeah, I think it's just that little bit of like toxicity that him and Selena had of, I don't want you, but I also don't want you with somebody who was a friend of mine. you know.
If he's not coming out with a single next Thursday, this was all for nothing.
Okay, I think he's coming with something because I keep trying to also remind people. I'm like, I think everyone's brushing over the fact Justin's been in this industry since he was a literal kid. You guys don't think he knows what to do to drum a pipe? Like, he's playing with everybody. He was
previewing music before all this started.
He was playing with everyone. His like spammy Instagram posts are to promote his clothing line. He's trying to put his music out there. He deactivated his Instagram, so then Hailey wasn't following him for a second. And then and then people were making TikToks, you know. Then she was like, it's a glitch. And the girl was like, I said that in my video, Goofy. I was like, oh, not Goofy. Not Goofy.
Well, maybe she need to watch the video the whole way through.
I know. And that's my thing. I'm like, ooh, honestly, I can't even hate on the TikToker.
They be baiting her and she take the bait every time.
Yeah, she's chronically online, you know. She responded too quickly, dare I say, which just fuels the trolls, as we know.
Hi, Hailey, if you watching, we talking about you, yes.
Mm-hmm. So, you know, just keeping an eye on that situation, y'all. It's not getting any better.
Interesting.
The Selena Hailey Justin trilogy.
Justin needed to post that on his burner account. Why he do that to the public?
You have a Finsta. All celebrities have a Finsta. I know they do. Utilize it.
He's weird for that.
Utilize it. Utilize the Finstas. Normalize Finstas. Bring back Finstas. And then, but make sure you're not like Demi Lovato and have yours accidentally leak where you're dragging Selena Gomez, because then we have to drag you.
Yep, because I was on that. Maddison, don't get me started.
That was
refreshing it and watching her unfollow them followers, girl. I said, oh, it's her.
That was a day. That was a day in history. I will never forget that day. And Jordan Woods and Tristan Thompson, like I would literally never forget. That was crazy.
Oh my God. That's someone that we have to have lunch with one day.
Yes. Two of my
Jordan Woods.
definite memories of in
I owe you a fruit basket.
Mm-hmm.
And where's the men's athleisure line?
Yes. Thanks. 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. Okay, Courtney, should we go ahead and
put it in the teapot?
You guys, make sure you submit your put it in the teapot submissions. They can be personal. They can be celebrity related. Email us at toastedteapot@gmail.com, or you can comment below on YouTube. You can DM us. You can DM us personally. You can DM the Toasted Teapot account. We want to hear from you. Like, this whole segment was an idea to really connect with the community. Like we were saying, that's why we love lives. We love connecting with you guys. So please definitely give us your put it in the teapot submissions.
Hi, everybody. What I want to put in the teapot this week is sort of like piggybacking off of talking about how Maddison took a chance on herself. And I would like to encourage everyone to actually put that into practice. Like, yes, it's great to dream. Like, yes, it's awesome to sort of like fathom what could be. But I think what sets Maddison, myself, and other people apart from the dreamers is that we actually put things into practice. Like, in order for things to materialize, you have to work towards them. You have to put in the work. Even if it's a baby step, even if it's 1 page per day, even if it's 1 line of a story, you have to try to make progress so that you can reach your dreams, so that your dreams can actually become a reality. And I also want to encourage people to, well, the time is running out. I want to say, take a chance on yourself, put in the work, and you will see that your delusions are actually maybe not so much.
No, I love it. Courtney, I was going to say, like, just do it. I think, and I'm saying that as also that's advice I need to take for myself too, because sometimes I get nervous to like go outside of my box. But with all this stuff going on with Remi Bader, which that's so niche, but people on TikTok, if you followed Remi Bader, she's this like, she was a plus size influencer who.
Oh, she got the surgery?
Yeah. Remember
wasn't it you guys was telling me about her? Yeah.
She was my Roman Empire before. Obviously now she finally came out and said what she did, which we knew she did something, but she was not lying about it, but like purposefully not telling people and like blocking people who would ask her about it. It was crazy. Anyway, it was wild.
Whoa.
But my thing is like, diversifying content. This is something like I've literally been struggling with, you guys. And it's because I think I want everything to be perfect. And so that's not how life is. To Courtney's point, you just got to do it. Like last night on a YouTube short, I literally posted these $20 shoes I got from Target. And I was like, you know what? This isn't the most aesthetic video, but I'm just going to post it. And
then when Target call your ass, you're going to be like, I'm glad that I posted.
And I did like a little video of me going to a burger night last week, you know? So slowly.
Loved
just,
that.
Like, thank you. I'm trying to get better. Like, just literally do it. Even if it's not perfect and I need to take my own advice, but just do it. That we all, and Courtney is the best at this, you guys. Courtney literally gets an idea and he's like, well, let me just try it. Like, Courtney is king.
I'm not afraid to flop, y'all. Look at my Instagram.
Not afraid. And I think we all need to adopt that we all need to live like that, Courtney, because like I said at the beginning of this, like you have spoken everything into existence for a reason, because you speak it and then you literally are like, okay, I'm going to just try it. And I don't care what people, that is what I truly admire about you. You literally are like, I'm just going to do it. And I don't give a what anyone thinks. If people from my hometown want to say something, they're in my hometown and I'm here, you know? And I think, well, I guess this is kind of me putting in the teapot without officially putting in the teapot, but I just really admire that about you. And I am encouraging everyone to literally, we just all need to go for it. Even if, whatever it is, even if it's just like, oh, I want to move my body 10 minutes a day. Even if you start with only 2 minutes a day, that's better than 0 minutes a day. Like, just do it.
And that goes for them job applications as well.
Yeah, it's brutal out there.
But like, I know it's brutal out there, and I want to encourage y'all to even go for positions that you think that maybe you're not worthy of. Because what you don't know today, you certainly can learn by tomorrow. So don't let like certain things on job applications or titles like sort of nix you out of at least applying and trying, because you never know how far your personality will really get you. Ding dong.
1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. So that I love this little therapy session at the end. That's why we love Put It in the Teapot, you guys. This was such another fun, amazing episode. Thanks for letting us take a walk down memory lane. New people, welcome to the community. We're so happy to have you. T-Tribe people who are OGs, we're happy to have you as well. Thank you guys for another fun week. You know that you can follow us everywhere at Toasted Tea Pod. Also, make sure you are subscribing wherever you get your podcasts, commenting on YouTube, subscribing on YouTube, all of the good stuff. You can also follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads at I am Maddison Hill. Courtney, I posted on Threads this week, so I
love that.
You guys.
Are you going to live thread the White Lotus finale?
Yeah.
Maddison said, no, I'm good.
No comment.
Anyway, y'all can follow me on Instagram at Courtney Revolution, and on TikTok and where else? Snapchat at Court Revolution, and also on Threads at Courtney Revolution as well. You know, y'all just find me somewhere.
That's right. Just find us. Find us. We love you guys. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll see y'all next time. Bye.